The Bible tells us the story that God created a human being, named that human being Adam, put that human being in a garden. He had God, he had a perfect surrounding, and yet God said, this isn't good enough yet. It's not good for Adam to be alone. Now, it wasn't bad because nothing was bad yet. It was a perfect world. But it wasn't as good as it could get. God said, I'm going to make him a helper comparable. The Hebrew there is ezer kenegdo. Ezer means a strengthener. That's the best single word I've come up with on that one. A strengthener. Each one of you can stand on your own, but you're stronger together. Each one of you are whole human beings. We men aren't like the real thing, and they kind of need us, and you're not really the real thing, and we're all the real thing. God makes whole, complete human beings. You will not complete each other. You will complement each other. And when you lock together, you're stronger. And the two become one. You become a team. I think the best marriage possible is when you are convinced from the beginning and stay convinced the rest of your lives that this is a God thing. You didn't find her, she didn't find you, God did this. You see, Jesus made commentary in Matthew 19 on the original verse in Genesis 2:24. He said, after quoting, a man shall leave his father and mother and cling to his woman, and the two shall be one flesh. He said, therefore, they're no longer two, but one. And what God has joined, don't let anyone separate. Now, we usually focus on the don't you let anyone separate. I believe the important thing is what God has joined. Marriage is a God thing. First of all, Henry, do you take Lydia, choosing her alone from all the world to be your beloved wife and true love, trusting her alone as your best earthly friend and life partner? Do you pledge yourself thus honorably to her, to be her husband in good faith, to live together according to God's plan of oneness in the sacred and biblical ordinance of one flesh marriage? Do you, Henry, make this pledge before God to Lydia?
I do.
And do you, Lydia, take Henry, choosing him from all the world, to be your beloved husband and true love, trusting him alone as your best earthly friend and life partner? Do you pledge yourself thus honorably to him, to be his wife in good faith, to live together according to God's plan of oneness in the sacred biblical ordinance of one flesh marriage? Do you, Lydia, make this pledge before God to Henry?
I do.
Then Lydia and Henry, I'd like to ask you to repeat together after me. I promise you my love.
I promise you my love.
Before God, my family and friends.
Before God, my family and friends.
To faithfully love and sustain you.
To faithfully love and sustain you.
To uphold and support you.
To uphold and support you.
To cherish and honor you.
To cherish and honor you.
To always consider your happiness.
To always consider your happiness.
To guard your reputation.
To guard your reputation.
To seek your welfare.
To seek your welfare.
As I seek my own.
As I seek my own.
From this day forward.
From this day forward.
In sickness and in health.
In sickness and in health.
In plenty and in want.
In plenty and in want.
In times of joy and in times of sorrow.
In times of joy and in times of sorrow.
And forsaking all others.
And forsaking all others.
I promise to keep myself only unto you.
Promise to keep myself only unto you.
As long as we both shall live.
As long as we both shall live.
Wherever you go, I will go.
Wherever you go, I will go.
Your home will be my home.
Your home will be my home.
Your people will be my people.
Your people will be my people.
We will serve the same God.
We will serve the same God.
And nothing but death.
And nothing but death.
Will ever separate.
Will ever separate.
Me from you.
Me from you.
And in response to your stated commitment, which we've all heard and witnessed, by the power invested in me as a minister of the gospel, I pronounce that you are, before God, husband and wife, And what God has joined together in his miracle of one flesh, no one ever think of separating. Henry, you may now kiss your bride. And it is now my distinct privilege to introduce to you Mr. and Mrs. Henry and Lydia Sampson.
Father, I said till death do us part, I want to mean it with all of my heart. Help me to love you more than I love her, then I know I can love her.